Greetings once again, my fellow Star Trek fans, and I'd like to welcome you to yet another Star Trek related video. Fellow modelers, I'd like to introduce to you a brand new Star Trek kit from AMT. No, not this beautiful lady right here, but we're going to go to her adversary. We're actually going to go down to this lady, the D-7, or the alien Klingon battle cruiser. We got the latest release from round 2 of the AMT version, and what they did was they actually brought back the retro packaging. If you're curious, I did a video on this, kind of bringing it full circle from the 68 release to the 2024 release. So my friends, without further ado, why don't we go over and I'll show you guys the brand new D-7 kit from the Klingon Empire. Alright, let's check it out. They got the retro box art, just like the original release back in 1968. You have the D-7 firing phasers, although the phasers don't fire from that section of the ship. And they have the planet. Later on, they did, when they reissued the long box version, they actually put the Enterprise up in a little area over here off her starboard side, and she was firing and they were firing at each other. So, without further ado, let me introduce you the newest release of the Klingon D-7. The side of the box, you can see the classic as seen on TV. It's got the scale little picture, and you can see the little scale right there for measurement. USS Enterprise space cruiser as opposed to the Klingon battle cruiser. And we have the alien battle cruiser spaceship model kit, just like the original Star Trek created by Gene Roddenberry. And on the other side, you can see another iconic black box, and it says featuring unique demon of deep space. The design, and let's see, it's tough to read, so bear with me. Dome display base with metal support rod, full color decals, multiple window options, Klingon markings for 2 color schemes. Show accurate detail. Of course, this would have been the working lights that would have been on the original. I did do a video showing you the original with the box art, and we did the timeline through to this issue. You can see we have the D-7, the battle cruiser, again, and we have the Klingon space battle cruiser. And like the original, it does not say created by Gene Roddenberry on this side. So another big glaring difference is this from the original this is kit number AMT 1428-12. And it's the same on both sides of both ends of the box, excuse me. And of course the original is S952. And another thing I love about round 2 is they have printing, photos, and graphics on the back of the box, or the bottom. This is the Klingon battle cruiser 1/650 scale. Revised decals with multiple window options and Klingon markings for 2 color schemes. You can see molded in color, details accurate to the filming model. And this will be about 14 inches long with 42 parts and includes dome base with metal support rod. And this was just released. It says 2023, but I actually received it in early 2024. So let's go ahead and open it up. And one of the most satisfying things for me is there's nothing like opening up a brand new model kit, especially a Star Trek one. Here. Love it. All right. You see a better picture without the glare of the plastic wrap right there. All right, so when we open it up, this is new. They have a cardboard insert, I guess, to keep the box from being crushed. So that's interesting. The original obviously does not have that. Put that aside. Okay, the first thing we're going to start with is you see that iconic from round 2, now iconic, half dome base. And we got the metal support rod. And is this hollow? It is not hollow. So we're gonna power it up, but it's real. Believe it or not, the original filming model had no lights in it at all. It was all about the lights being projected up onto it. So we may not even light this one. We'll see. But this has the support rod. It is not clear or hollow to run wires through, but it's there. Next, we'll take a look at the chrome parts. And let's see, it looks like a piece has come off. Where are my scissors? It looks like that little piece. Now in the original model kit, if memory serves, I think they referred to this as the antenna. And this actually protruded a little bit on the original model kit, whereas we actually, the one that I do in the introduction was one of the originals. We actually had to bring it in to make it flush with the opening of the area that has the bridge. So this will be underneath, and this is actually like an antenna or a sensor. But this came off the parts tree. So let's take a look at the rest of it. You can see the vents. And I do believe those are going to go on top of the impulse deck. And we have some of the pieces that are going to go on the long section that connects the two hulls. And it looks like we have some of the pieces that are going to go on the I don't know if they're called nacelles or not, but the power units, the thrusting units. But that is the chrome tree. Now let's take a look at the body. Love it. So let's get this opened up. There's not a whole lot to this kit, but for nostalgia, this kit is awesome. Love it. And the fact that it's in color, you can see this tree has the bulbous section that's going to be on the long connecting piece. That's going to go to the secondary hull, or the engineering unit or hull. You can see the opening where is it? Where this piece is actually going to go in, and it's going to be flush. That iconic look. You can see there are no windows, by the way, so far. I'm trying to remember if the original release had some windows that were open. I don't really remember, but you can see on the side where some of the chrome parts are going to go. Alright, now we look at the secondary hull itself. And again, it's very similar to the original mold. We have the top. You can see the opening where the impulse deck is going to go. You can see where it's going to guide in. There's a big difference between the molding of the pieces. You can see this one has the indentation for the metal support rod, and of course the original release had the switch opening for the switch that went over there, because the batteries would go into the compartment Well, let me put it together and show you guys. The batteries, that's why you would be able to take off the impulse deck, change the batteries, and the switch would be on the bottom. And this is molded in color again, and other than those differences, it looks pretty much the same. I don't know about this flash. I don't think that was on the original release. I think it's because this is remember, this is a totally different mold. I believe this is a different mold. I could be wrong, but like the Enterprise is totally different molds. I'm not sure if this was the original or totally different. Moving on, let's see, we've got one more package containing parts. And let's take a look. You can see this is the top of this section over there, where the bridge would be. And you can see the next deck that's going to go on. And there are two lights on top, as well as the other section just behind this. I think it's the officers' quarters, but I'm not quite sure. This is for the impulse deck in the back. We got the sides of the impulse decks, and we've got the little areas that are going to form the fins. You can see right over here is the top, and this is going to go facing the front. Now again, with the original release, this was almost like a comb because there were gaps in between the teeth. And what you would do is you would put a chrome part behind it to kind of emphasize it. And that chrome is no longer included on the tree. You can also see the end caps for the power units, or the power drive units, or nacelles. And let's take a look at the head of the ship. This is really cool. And look, they actually molded this part on. There's also a light that's going to be on the top of that. Nice. You can see the vents on the sides of the ship. And that's going to go into that opening. And now we're going to take a look at again, I want to say nacelle pylons and nacelles. I don't know if they're called nacelles or not. I'm sure someone out there is going to correct me. But this is the side. Let's see, this looks like it would be the port side. And let's see what else is in here. Lastly, we got the other tree. There's a little bit of flash on it, but that's okay. It's not on the part. It's actually on the tree itself. As far as the parts go, they look pretty clean. They look pretty good. Let's see. Oh, I missed a part. So you can see this section. And I'm not quite sure where these are going to go. If they're going to go on the impulse deck, most likely that's where they're going to go. But I had missed that. Now it looks like we have the decals. So let's take a look at the decals. How cool is that? That is so cool. Kapla! Well, when we're first introduced to the Klingons, they're not yelling Kapla. I think they're more like General Kor, General Commander Koloff, General Kang or Commander Kang. Incidentally, all three would make a reappearance, and I think it was Deep Space Nine, which is a pretty cool episode. But they ended up being all mutated in the Deep Space Nine episode. And you remember Mr. Worf in Deep Space Nine, when they had gone to the station K7, and they inquired about the looks of the Klingons, Mr. Worf said, "We do not speak of it." These are the decals, and you can see for each different filming model. One is in yellow, one is the kind of yellowish kind of decal. And you can see the windows. All the windows have decals. So that's really cool. Alright, those are the decals, and what's left? Looks like we have a little bit of we got some catalog information from Auto World, and Auto World is my place to get the all the stuff. But believe it or not, I actually got the Enterprise D and this model kit. I actually got it from a different place. I got it from Fab Gear USA because I actually got it sooner. A lot of the different products they have, I love the International truck, 125 scale big rig, and different things you can get, different die-cast metal cars. My favorite, the model kits, as well as the K7 that I showed you guys. We did a little history of the K7. I showed you the original kit, the original release. I showed you the newest or latest issue and the collector tin. And there are a bunch of different things for the catalog. And lastly, we have the instruction sheet. This is the latest issue, so we'll take a look and we'll see if it's any different than the previous issues. So again, this is AMT, the Klingon Battle Cruiser spaceship. You can see Assembly 1, and this is for AMT 1428-12. We're putting the halves of the top section together. We're putting the sides of the elongated section where the front hull is. We're putting in the little antenna. You can see the chrome pieces that are going to go on. More of the little tubes that are going to go on to the ship, as well as where the bridge area is. So assembly 2, you can see we put the secondary hull. We'll put the halves together, and before we do that, we'll do the engines. Those will go together, port and starboard, and you can see the formation of the impulse deck. And we're going to attach this section with the primary hull onto the section of the secondary hull. You can see the alternate display method, hanging it with nylon thread, make the loop, and the decals. And this is something that is not included in the original, the decal sheet. And this is the latest issue of these instructions. Incidentally, I'll make a video of the instructions for this because they're not available yet on the Round 2 website for download, so I'll make a video. And this is Star Trek 2023 release from Round 2 Corp. So for the most part, the instructions are the same, but there are differences now that warrant interesting differences, only because this is the iconic D-7, and the instruction sheet is ever so slightly different. So that's it. That's everything in the box. So this will go together pretty easy. I love the coloring. The color is really cool. In ocean, I put the one that I made from '68. I think it was Ocean Mist or something like that, along those lines, that I used in my intro that I thought was a really cool color, and I used the gray. So, but when we do this, I kind of want to build it out of the box to show you guys what it'll look like. But on the same token, I might want to paint it. We'll see. We'll see when we start the build, as well as lighting it. I'm not quite sure yet. So, my friends, I hope that you guys enjoyed this quick little video of the actual brand new release of the Klingon D-7 battle cruiser, the alien battle cruiser from the Klingon warrior empire as seen on Star Trek. So my friends, until we start this build, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys really soon.